Tonight on the MTN News, could part of Metra Park be turned into a detention facility?
I've received responses from the congressional delegation that said, yes, we've received your letter and we will pass it on.
An offer by Yellowstone County commissioners has a lot of people talking, also shining a light on domestic abuse.
He threatened me every way you could imagine, and I shouldn't even be sitting here. I should not even be alive.
A Billings photographer steps in front of the camera to tell her story and the keys to success. A Billings senior grad comes home to headline with the Billings Symphony. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. The Trump administration says it has already arrested hundreds of illegal immigrant criminals and flown hundreds out of the country on military aircraft. As we first told you last night here on Q2, the Yellowstone County commissioners are offering the use of Metra Park to detain illegal immigrants who might be caught here in our region. Our David J. has more with the commissioner who came up with that idea and what others are saying about it.
Commissioner Moore says if this were to happen, it would be at the Montana Pavilion, the Expo Center, or one of the other smaller buildings. A lot of unknowns at this point, and questions won't be answered until the federal government says that it wants to make use of the facilities here at Metra Park.
It's me basically saying, hey, if you need help, we have a facility that might work.
Yellowstone County Commissioner Mark Moore comes after President Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border on his first day in office for those who have entered the country illegally, including those involved in cartels, criminal gangs, and human trafficking.
Unfortunately, some of those people are here in Montana, in Yellowstone County, on our surrounding Native American Indian reservations.
Morse wrote to Montana's congressional delegation stating the commission would consider offering Metra Park for detaining illegal immigrants. Congressman Ryan Zinke immediately posted the letter on his X account on Thursday. He stated, "I applaud Yellowstone County commissioners for the creative solution to help with the effort." But details are sparse whether Metra's campus could even be converted. Metra Park GM Stoney Field said to direct all questions to Morse. Mayor Bill Cole said he did not know much about the proposal and that the city had no involvement. Sheriff Mike Linder said he had just found out about it himself and could not comment. Many residents, meanwhile, reacted negatively on social media, and some were at Metra Park Friday afternoon.
If they don't separate them and all that kind of thing, I think there's a good chance that there's going to be some issues.
Policy changes in this regard are going to be large scale, but to throw the costs on the localities is wrong.
And some citizens say they appreciate Morse's letter and the president's declaration.
They might not all be violent criminals, but they are all criminals because they've crossed the border illegally, and there's other ways to go about that.
It's not politically motivated. It's about making Yellowstone County a great place to live again.
Again, Morse told MTN if the federal government asked Yellowstone County to make Metra ready, he would then pass it on to the rest of the commissioners for discussion. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
A Change.org petition that was started called Don't Use Metra Park to House Undocumented People already had more than 600 supporters earlier this evening. Well, tens of thousands of people gathered in Washington, D.C. today for the annual March for Life. Vice President J.D. Vance was the featured speaker for this year's march. President Trump addressed the crowd in a pre-recorded video saying he will again stand proudly for families and for life. Despite the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade in 2022, organizers say there's still more work to do to reduce the number of abortions in the U.S. each year. Meanwhile, many Montanans gathered at the Capitol in Helena, hoping to have their voices heard during a rally about the environment. MTN's Ellie Kaiser spoke with organizers and a senator about the event.
The Montana State Capitol building is filled with a large crowd of people attending a climate advocacy rally.
Recognize that we are a part of our environment, not apart from it. That we are not defending nature, but that we are nature defending itself.
Families for a Livable Climate organized the rally in the Capitol's rotunda with other groups like Montana Environmental Information Center, Forward Montana, Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes, and Mountain Mamas. The rally included 10 speakers who shared their experiences with how the environment is affecting their lives.
About 500 people are expected to turn out today to really let our legislators know that we care about the climate, we care about the environment, and we want to see a better tomorrow for future generations.
Montana Senator Barry Usher says he believes there is climate change, but not in the same way many of the rally attendees do.
The climate changes over decades and centuries, and it ebbs and it flows, and I don't necessarily believe that humans have a big hand in that.
The 69th session is the first time the legislature has met since the landmark Held v. Montana case, which affirmed Montanans' fundamental constitutional right to a clean and healthful environment.
The courts are not scientists, and I believe that for them to rule on that case is definitely an overreach.
I think it's undeniable that, climate is being affected currently, and we can look at occurrences like the Missoula windstorm, we can look at fires, we can look at drought.
Friday afternoon, the House Natural Resources Committee heard House Bill 229, proposed by Representative Debo Powers. The bill would revise the Montana Environmental Policy Act to implement the Montana Supreme Court's decision in Held v. State of Montana and eliminate the prohibition of evaluating green gas emissions. Reporting in Helena, I'm Allie Kaiser, MTN News.
Our weather will be changing as well. We're losing a lot of the clouds that we had much of the day around Montana and northern Wyoming. Still some lingering light snow showers. Billings didn't receive very much, a couple of shots of snow for a while, but most of that is already gone. We have just a little bit more light snow shower activity, mainly between Billings and Custer. A little bit more active weather, though, for northeastern Montana with a lot of strong wind and lingering snow. We have some more blizzard-like conditions there, so winter weather advisories have been issued there just less than an hour ago, but in Billings, it's starting to cool down already. We had a high today of 33 degrees, 4 degrees cooler than average, but it's going to get a lot colder tomorrow morning as we lose the wind and we lose those clouds. Our reforecast for the last 7 days of January coming up.
If you've been through Laurel lately, you may have noticed quite a few new small businesses there. Tonight, Matt Carmack is taking a look at the reasons for that revival.
In the last 10 years, the town of Laurel has seen a cultural shift in terms of businesses. As larger corporations like Hardee's are moving out, smaller locally owned businesses are moving in.
We try and, support each other the best we can.
The people of Laurel love their town.
When there's a need, everybody jumps in and helps.
Whether they've lived there their whole life, and the people that are local, they're always so supportive, or are just passing through.
We're really happy that we had landed in a home in this town.
About 80% of my customers are not Laurel residents. They're from Columbus, Park City, Joliet, Billings, the hotel across the parking lot.
Shauna Hopper's Carlton Depot is one of the town's newest successes.
We are growing. We might open a couple doors and then one might close. It's kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Chamber of Commerce Chair Amy Mullaney is happy with the direction, but along with growth comes problems as well.
We live in a time where it's about convenience. I think if I had a drive-through, I could probably double my business.
The timing that it takes for supplies sometimes to get here, or when we do get shorted, it's not good. Cracked egg owner Janelle Allison, who moved here recently from Washington State, says she knows bigger companies can mean jobs and benefits, but appreciates Laurel's makeup.
We really want to make Laurel kind of that small town feel, but also have lots of opportunity for the families and anyone who lives here as well.
Owners say they try to appeal to their audience of travelers and natives by sourcing locally, which many chains can't do. Hopper uses Montana beef and ale on her menu, or Heidi Schmidt with Heidi's Coffee Cabin uses Billings coffee beans. Me being a small business owner, I always try to think, who else can I support that's small and trying to get their name out there.
It's just a really nice, vibrant business district.
In Laurel, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
It was a sad day for one Billings nonprofit that has been supporting kids here in Yellowstone County for a half century. Big Brothers Big Sisters announced that it has closed operations effective immediately due to growing financial challenges. The nonprofit, which has provided thousands of mentoring matches over the years, says it has struggled to meet operating costs as opportunities for government and private grants have diminished and fundraising activities have not been able to keep pace.